Hey guys, so here I'm going to show you a very advanced shoulder mobility exercise, and it's the arm bar. Now, before I show you how to do it and some finer points, I want to point out that this is something that if any of you have some underlying neck issues, some underlying back issues where you don't entirely trust those parts of your body, or even with the tight shoulders that you have, if you do have some histories of a dislocation in your shoulder, really proceed with caution with this activity. Choose a very light weight. Don't push too hard into the end ranges. Really just test it on out and see how it feels, because it's going to push your body into an end range that it may not know what to do with, and you've got to figure it out. So with that warning said, this is something where it works best for you to use a kettlebell, not so much a dumbbell. You're going to be balancing the weight above head, and it's a little bit easier to do that with a kettlebell, just the way that you got to hold it in your hand. If all you have is a dumbbell, that's fine. Just know it's actually easier with the kettlebell. So if you tend to press a, say, 35-pound kettlebell or weight above head, this would be something where I would take a 25-pound weight instead. And all you do is you grab the weight, you lay on down, and you get it above head. And find that balance point, the other arm's reaching above head, and keeping your eye on the weight, you're going to roll yourself to the side. Keeping that eye on the weight, it's all steady, then bring yourself over. Keeping an eye on the weight, keeping an eye on the weight. Now, you can let the head go down, the arm go up, but I would recommend initially you just keep your eye on the weight the whole time as you're sort of nudging your body more and more underneath it. Now when you're here, you've got to make sure that you feel the shoulder blade working and you're not hanging out on the stretch of the front of your shoulder joint. That means that your shoulder socket and girdle is what's reaching to get you back there. You're not having it facing forward and you're cranking on the ball and socket joint. And you come on back. So that is just a very unique way in which to learn how to reach your arm behind you when it's free. We're doing very similar things when you do the weight-bearing exercises that I've described earlier, where you have your arms in that position, but this is something where you get to have the arm free, away from your body, and a weight is kind of coaching it, helping it understand what it's trying to do. Again, you use a light weight, something that you could handle with other movements much more easily, and it's just you kind of getting to know what it's like in those ranges. So what I would do is I wouldn't necessarily count time. I'd just do a few breaths while you're there. The reason breaths are helpful is because, well, that shoulder girdle rests on a rib cage, and if you can move air in and out of that rib cage while keeping that weight steady and balanced, then, well, that's range you're probably going to be able to use in your daily life. So a view from the other side would be, you get the weight above head, other arms reaching, eyes on the bell, you keep it at that balance point the whole time, and then you roll over, keep your eyes on the weight, and then you bring the leg over, and you nudge it, keeping your eyes on the weight. You could go where you're facing down, but I'd recommend for a while just keeping your gaze on the weight, trying to bring your body as far as you can underneath it, and then you come on back, bring it on down. And that's the arm bar. It's nothing that you necessarily need to do very regularly, but if you do struggle with shoulder mobility and you've taken on a lot of the other things that I've recommended, and you're still finding that there's some ranges that aren't everything that you need and want, this would be a great thing for you to try and take on. Again, use a lighter weight. Don't push hard into the end ranges. You shouldn't feel anything really stretching. You should just feel your shoulder girdle working while you're doing it. So try it on out. Let me know if you got any questions about it. Regardless, I hope your shoulders are moving as freely as you like them to, and I hope you're well.